Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're unpacking a truly fascinating blog post from Angel Tara titled You and Me, Friends. Now, at first glance, this might look like your standard run-of-the-mill reflection on friendship, but it actually cracks open the hidden, almost spiritual mechanics of doing favors for the people we care about. We're going to break down exactly how our intentions can completely reshape, or honestly, ruin the outcomes of helping a friend. So I want you to start by thinking about a super specific feeling. Have you ever owed a friend a favor? And I don't mean just a small one. I mean a really significant one. Think about that heavy, kind of awkward feeling of being in a friend's debt. It can feel like a massive weight on your shoulders, right? Well, that precise, uncomfortable feeling is exactly where our exploration begins today. Section 1. The burden of favors, when help comes with a heavy price tag. Picture this scenario. You've got two friends. One does a massive favor for the other. Awesome, right? But here is the catch. The friend who did the helping just couldn't stop bringing it up. Every single interaction became this subtle, or maybe not so subtle, reminder that a debt was owed. This constant reminder creates an immediate, overwhelming sense of obligation for the receiver. They didn't feel supported anymore. They just felt trapped. And this brings us to a literal breaking point. The receiving friend felt so incredibly suffocated by these constant reminders that they literally turned to prayer. But get this, they weren't praying out of gratitude. They actually prayed to God for a chance to pay the friend back, just so they could escape the obligation. Think about how wild that is for a second. The help was so toxic that the receiver's only wish was to settle the score and finally be free. Section 2. The silent helper. The power of forgetting. Let's put these two approaches side by side for a second. On one side, we have that first friend who demands acknowledgement and keeps holding the favor over the other person's head. But on the other side, the author introduces a second scenario. Here, a person helps their friends and then, and this is absolutely crucial, completely forgets about it. They don't bring it up, they don't use it as leverage, they just help out and move on. The difference in outcomes here is absolutely wild. When the giver constantly reminds, the receiver just feels burdened and prays to settle the debt. But check out the alternative. When the helper steps up and then forgets about it, the receiver naturally remembers that life-changing help all on their own. And the long-term result? The receiver offers continuous blessings and out-of-the-way support whenever the giver needs it. The silent helper didn't create some toxic burden. Instead, they spark this lifelong cycle of deep, genuine gratitude. There's this beautiful moment in the text that highlights this perfectly. Eventually, our silent helper runs into some trouble and actually finds themselves receiving unexpected, totally out-of-the-way help from their friend. When the silent helper asks, "Wow, you were so helpful, where did you learn this?" the friend replies, "I learned from you." The friend was literally just mirroring the initial selfless act. It's like this perfect loop of genuine support entirely free of any obligation. Section 3. The mechanics of punya. The spiritual economy of good deeds. So why exactly do these two approaches yield such wildly different results? Well, Angel Tara introduces this core concept called punya. The text essentially treats punya like a tangible, spiritual currency. Whenever you help someone unconditionally, you earn punya, and this punya translates directly into good luck for you, or it acts as a buffer that saves you from bad things that were supposed to happen. To really wrap your head around this, think of punya like an automatic reward system. You earn it through selfless acts, it throws up a spiritual shield around you, and it naturally attracts good luck. But there is a massive catch. This currency thrives entirely on silence and pure intentions. The minute you alter your intention, the mechanics of punya change completely. Section 4. The energy exchange trap. Reversing the flow of positive energy. The author breaks down this complex energy exchange so logically. Step 1. You do the favor and earn your punya. Awesome. But step 2, your ego steps in and you brag or remind your friend. Boom, here's where the trap springs. Step 3, because you demanded recognition, your positive punya actually transfers away from you and goes straight to them. And step 4, which is definitely the most surprising part, you actually attract misfortune, like falling sick. Why? Simply so your friend has the opportunity to serve you and finally return the favor you wouldn't let them forget. Because if you think about it, reminding someone of a favor is essentially demanding a spiritual refund. You're energetically saying, take back the punya I got and return me the favor in the exact same physical way I helped you. You're literally forcing them to pray for a chance to settle a score, instead of just allowing them to send you organic blessings. You trade an amazing spiritual shield for a physical transaction that literally requires you to suffer just so they can pay you back. Section 5. Do good and forget. The ultimate life hack for true friendship. All this deep dive into energy mechanics builds to one really elegant, simple resolution rooted in cultural wisdom. We arrive at this powerful proverb, Neki kar darya medal. This translates roughly to do good and throw it in the river. It completely cements the takeaway that true giving requires total detachment from the outcome. You do the good deed and you just toss the memory of it right into the flowing river. You don't hold on to it, you don't frame the receipt on your wall, you just let it go. Okay, so let's pull this all together. The key takeaways from this explainer are super clear. Giving unconditional help actually protects your own positive energy. Reminding others of the favors you've done, that only creates toxic obligations and completely reverses your good fortune. Choosing silence is what transforms a mere transaction into a genuine, lifelong blessing. And ultimately, forgetting your good deeds is the absolute best way to protect your punya. I'm going to leave you to reflect on your own relationships with one final question. The next time you step up to help someone you care about, I want you to ask yourself, are you giving a gift or are you creating a debt? Are you throwing your good deeds into the river or are you carefully keeping the receipt in your back pocket? It's a massive shift in perspective and one that can completely change the hidden mechanics of your friendships. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Now go out there and see what happens when you start doing good and forgetting.